Right. Namaste, everybody. Welcome to our fourth session of the free Breathwork with Rajyogi sessions. In the earlier sessions, we started first with belly breathing, and then we did basic Hanuman Master Breath, followed by a little more advanced level of Hanuman Master Breath. As I have been saying, or as I've been trying to explain, Hanuman Master Breath, once you have learned it and understood it, and learned to apply it, it can be a very powerful way of healing. And I'm not saying this just for the sake of saying. I'm saying it because Hanuman Master Breath has helped me personally, directly heal many, many different conditions. And I mentioned them in some of my writing, including conditions like fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a nerve or nervous issue connected with, the back, shoulders, etc. Uh, can be very painful. Sciatica, which is again something similar, starts at the buttocks or L4, L5 and runs down the legs and so on. People who suffer from it, sometimes they say they've had it for 15 years, 20 years. It's very, very painful. Piles or hemorrhoids, uh, and so many other small and big different conditions. I have personally been able to actually dissolve, if I can use that term, uh, tumorous growth in the jaw. So Hanuman Master Breath is very, I think I'll just mute everybody. When you need to speak, you can turn on your mic. Yeah. So Hanuman Master Breath, think of Hanuman Master Breath as a thing that can carry energy throughout your system or move energy throughout your system in ways that can lead to different kinds of healing. But there is a technique to it, there is a way of doing it, which I wanted to explain today. But I think more people are interested today in practicing the Hanuman Master Breath more than learning how to heal themselves yet. Am I right? Is that about correct? Is my assessment right in that? You'll have to
Yes, sir.
answer.
We want to learn practically to implement it.
You want to learn practically to implement Hanuman Master Breath, but that's my question.
Yes, sir.
That's what I wanted to do. But yesterday when I asked that, the the response was very mute or very muted. More people seem to say that they were interested in practicing the Hanuman Master Breath first so that they understand it better.
हाँ वही सर वही
वही तो अलग बात हो गई
नहीं सर प्रैक्टिस करना है आपके साथ ताकि
हाँ
बस
हाँ
समझ में आ जाए थियोरी
ओके
मालूम है सर
थ्योरी मालूम है थ्योरी की बात नहीं है देयर इज नो थ्योरी हियर ये तो प्रैक्टिकलिटी है ये तो बट एनीवे आई थिंक आई गेट योर पॉइंट सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज बेली ब्रीदिंग कैसे करने का बेली ब्रीदिंग व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन यू आर बेली ब्रीदिंग अच्छा टर्न ऑन योर माइक्रोफोन्स एंड योर वीडियोस प्लीज it's good to be able to talk to people rather than just a wall, wall of little tiles. Hmm. Yeah. So belly breathing, what have you understood about belly breathing? How is it done? What happens in belly breathing?
The abdomen expands and falls.
Okay. Can you tell me a little more?
So you breathe while you're breathing in, you expand your abdomen, and then when
Okay.
you're breathing out, you fall. I mean, you take it
But
back.
there is a small difference there. You don't do anything.
Yeah,
It happens.
happen. Yeah. It's
Rather
like
than you,
it's
hmm?
like how the babies breathe.
Yes, it's the way a baby would breathe, a newborn baby. Who has a newborn baby at home? Child, grandchild, or whatever. Who has one? If you notice, if you see a baby or someone who had a baby a few years ago, if you notice a baby when it's lying in bed, when the baby breathes, only the belly moves up and down. The baby is not doing it intentionally because nobody has taught the baby to do it except Mother Nature. Mother Nature has taught the baby to breathe in a certain way, and all babies seem to breathe like that automatically. Gulzar, you have your hand raised. Yeah, boliye, Gulzar. Go on, Gulzar. नहीं ठीक है pass. So this is how babies breathe because they have been programmed like this by nature, you know. So that is how they do it. Mothers don't teach the baby, hey baby, you've got to breathe like this, or dads don't teach the baby, you've got to breathe like this. Even dogs, Sojanya says, even dogs breathe like this. See, you may be right. Maybe dogs also breathe like that, but I don't think I've really observed dogs well enough or close enough to say for sure it's always like that. But you could be right. You could be right. Sojanya, thank you very much. Yeah. All right. So this is belly breathing. But when we started the practice the first day, I asked you to lie down on your back, to bring your heels to your buttocks, let your knees point to the ceiling. If you hold that posture for half a minute, 1 minute, automatically belly breathing begins. Is that right? Is that about right? Is that about right? Belly breathing begins automatically when you hold that posture.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So that was Shubhraji. Okay. What about the others? Only one
Yes, sir.
yes?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Very good. Now the question is, you can't always be lying on your bed, on your back to practice belly breathing. Belly breathing should be available to you in all situations. So when you are lying on your back, you need to observe internally what is happening to your body. Why is your body able to breathe or belly breathe in that way? You just need to observe that. Basically, what you will notice is that there is a level of relaxation in your body. एक बार, come on, everybody. Let's lie down on the back. Pull your heels up to your buttocks. Let your knees point to the ceiling. Just hold that posture for half a minute, 1 minute, and observe. On your backs, if you have your yoga mat handy, I think you should have a yoga mat handy because it's included, it's mentioned in the notification to have these handy. So get your yoga mats out, lie down on your mat, pull your heels closer to your buttocks. You don't have to touch the buttocks, just closer. Let your legs form an A shape so that the knees point to the ceiling or to the sky. Hold the posture and observe how belly breathing happens. Okay, while you are doing this, I'll take a question from Gulzar. You said you have a question, Gulzar. Go on.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
You said when you're sitting, you breathe from the belly, and when you exhale from
No,
the
no, no, no.
spine.
No, 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 no. Why are you confusing things? We are talking about
Uh,
belly breathing for just now. At the moment,
okay.
we are focused on belly breathing. So let's talk about belly breathing.
Okay.
You are bringing in something that is connected with Hanuman Master Breath, which is the next step. At this moment,
Okay.
belly
Wait.
breathing. Okay.
I'll wait.
So belly breathing, Neha, you lie down on your back, bring your heels. Heels are this part of your foot. That is your heel, the back portion of the foot. Bring this closer to your buttocks so that your knees point to the ceiling. Let me show it to you. I think that's the best way to do it. Can you see me? Can you see me clearly enough? See?
Yes.
Yeah. Now my knees are pointing to the ceiling. Do not use a cushion or a pillow under your head. Keep it flat. Hold this posture for half a minute, 1 minute, good enough. If you just hold this posture for a little while, you will notice automatically belly breathing begins to happen. If you can confirm that, I'll be glad, I'll be grateful. Yes, Neha, understood. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Understood,
Very good.
Pankaj.
Yes, sir.
So now, when you hold this posture, automatically belly breathing is happening, but you need to observe why this is the case. So internally notice what state you are in. You will notice that you are in a state of deeper.
Parsanki meeting.
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat what
Yes.
posture you are saying?
Yeah, I'm saying when you hold this position, you will notice that you are in a state of deeper relaxation automatically. So let your mind observe how your body is. Let your mind observe how the mind itself is. And allow this to happen more often. When you come to the sitting position, when you come to the sitting position, see if you can let that happen again. That means as you are sitting, let belly breathing happen. Is that happening or not? When you are sitting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It
Very good.
happens.
Who said yes, sir?
Sir Pankaj.
Shubhraji?
Shubhra,
Pankaj?
sir.
Shubhra, very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Anyone else? Yes, sir. Who's
Yes,
that?
sir.
Who's that?
Rupal.
Rupal,
Yes.
very good. Anybody else?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
So,
So number of you have noticed that while you are sitting also, some form of belly breathing is happening. Now you have to train yourself. It's your breath. You have to train yourself so that this continues to happen whenever you are sitting, standing, walking, doing anything. Remember, in that first session, we had gone deep into the question of belly breathing. Why belly breathing? What happens to the system? You remember the parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system. You remember that there are so many different systems in the body that work with the fluids that are there inside you. The body is 70% water. You remember? Body is 70% water. And all these fluids need to flow easily. You remember we said for your blood, you have the cardiovascular system. You have a very powerful heart that beats 24 hours non-stop. So your blood is circulated very effectively because every part of your body needs whatever the blood is bringing constantly. But what about the other systems? They do not have a dedicated heart like the cardiovascular system. For your other systems,
Okay.
remember your belly is like their pump. What the heart is doing to your blood and circulatory system,
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing वाला नहीं है.
ऐसा भी होता है. चलो. So for the other systems, there is no other pump. Your belly has to begin to work like a pump
ये को
so
mute
that
ऐसे कर रहा है तो.
I think I have to mute everybody. Mukta ji, please don't unmute. Please stay muted. So as you continue doing this, allow belly breathing to happen more and more and more often. This will help your stomach, basically, or the diaphragm, if you want, to not only massage the inner organs, but to act like a pump that can get all the other systems flowing, working relatively effortlessly. So this is a major thing that happens when you belly breathe. The more your body is belly breathing, the more you are in the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the system where the body heals and repairs itself. If you are in the sympathetic nervous system, it is difficult for the body to heal and repair itself. It cannot do it. But in the parasympathetic nervous system, it will happen. So, in that sense, think of your belly breathing as a switch that transfers you from the sympathetic into the parasympathetic nervous system. The longer, the more often, the more regularly your body is in the sympathetic nervous system, the more your stresses will build up. All the stresses in your body will ultimately lead to a feeling of lack of ease and then later to disease. Whereas when you are at ease, as you are, for example, when you are belly breathing, it will help your body, mind, emotions to relax, heal, and repair themselves so that they are able to function better.
नहीं बोल ऐसे अंग्रेजी सिखा
अबे
रहे हैं
साले चुप कर
Muktaji, I'll have to throw you out of this meeting. This is not a polite way to get your son or whoever he is to behave in a public place. I'm sorry, Muktaji.
Can I ask a question, sir?
Yes, please.
यार सॉरी सर यार गलती हो गई मेरे से सॉरी
Very bad behavior. Okay, yeah, go on. Who somebody had a question? Go on.
Sir, Rajesh sir, Pankaj here.
Yes. हाँ, पंकज बोलिए.
एक question है कि since I've been practicing continuously from last 7 days, now I've got used to and automatically also it happens. एक
जी.
query है कि when I'm focusing on it, I realize वो deep breathing नहीं हो रही है. So I tend to do this manually. Although belly breathing is happening, but deep breathing is not happening in that.
So observe when you are belly breathing, observe how deep your breath is going. That's all you need to do. You will feel that your breath is going at least to the belly region. It may also go a little deeper. Indu Balaji, I'm so sorry. Thank you for your suggestion to speak in Hindi also. But if I repeat everything in Hindi and English, it'll just take very long. Some people have been asking me to share this in Hindi. I'll try to do a session in Hindi, Indu Balaji. I'm sorry, I'll have to ask Indu Balaji to leave. Oh, sorry, Mukta Soniji to leave. Remove. I'm so sorry. Disturbance is not okay. Yeah. So as you let belly breathing happen more and more and more often, your body tends to be in a greater state of ease, relaxation, which helps it to heal. Are we clear about this so far?
Yeah.
The question that Pankaj asked was getting his breath to move deeper. If you are sitting in a position where belly breathing is happening naturally, automatically. Huh? Pankaj, are you with me?
I'm with you, sir.
If you are in this position and if you want to take your breath deeper, you can always take it deeper. Many people feel that their breath goes maybe to their heart, to the ribs
Yeah.
or that area. Some people feel maybe it goes a little deeper towards the belly button area, which is good, which is definitely better than others. But there are also people who can feel that breath go all the way to the Muladhara. Earlier, people who were experiencing that the breath only goes, say, till the lungs or heart or ribs or basically that area. Now they have, with the Hanuman Master breath, they've begun to access the spinal channel, which is also the Sushumna Nadi. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but you'll find a lot of information lot of detailed information about Sushumna Nadi, which may be said to be the single most important Nadi in your system. Your Sushumna Nadi may be said to be the single most important Nadi in your system. It passes through all your major chakras, all the major 7 chakras. So think of your Sushumna Nadi for practical purposes or for easier understanding. Think of it as a major highway. Think of all the different chakras like traffic junctions in different cities, if you want. And as this highway passes through all these cities, this traffic junction may sometimes have traffic jams. So that means traffic is not able to move easily, in which in our case it means energy is not able to move easily up the Sushumna. I don't know if you've been reading some of my articles which I've been sharing about consciousness, but understand one very simple thing. The major difference, did you know something very interesting? On Earth, there are trillions of living beings, different kinds of living creatures, life forms. Humans are only 0.01% of all the life forms. 0.01%. The rest are other kinds of living beings and creatures and so on. So that's how rare and that's how special a human life is. In Hindu Dharma, we speak of 84 lakh yonis, 84 lakhs, that is 8.4 million yonis or species, different kinds of life forms. Each of these life forms has a level of consciousness. But the human level of consciousness, and it has a huge range. Within humans, you'll find a huge range of consciousness. Some people are almost animal-like in their consciousness, and some people are almost god-like. I shouldn't even say animal-like in some cases. They're probably more demon-like than animal-like, because animals, they don't go around hurting for the sake of hurting, but there are human beings who go around hurting for the sake of hurting, and so on. So you'll find human consciousness go so deep or so low that they are worse than animals. And at the same time, you'll find humans whose consciousness has gone so high that they are almost godlike. Now, what is the major difference between these kinds of consciousness levels? Remember one thing: those with higher consciousness, whether they like it or not, whether they want it or not, they dominate over those of lower consciousness. Those with higher consciousness dominate over those with lower consciousness. So if you are able to do anything to raise your consciousness as a human being, and as a human being, this is possible. Other creatures, I don't know whether it is possible for them to consciously raise their consciousness. I don't think so. But human beings can do so. If you can consciously raise your consciousness, you can go towards your highest potential. And what is the highest potential for a human being? Can anybody answer that question? What is the highest potential for a human being?
Liberation from life and death cycle.
Moksha. Okay.
Moksha.
Anybody else? To become godlike, Pankaj. A human being with a raised consciousness or a very, very high consciousness comes very close to being godlike. What is godlike? God तो वही है ना जो whatever he desires or whatever he wishes or whatever he wills comes into being. He's a creator. Anything he wishes, anything he thinks of comes into being. Yes or no?
Yes.
There are human beings also who have not reached that level, but who are certainly at that level where a lot of whatever they think, whatever they wish comes into being. And if you wish to raise your consciousness, all adhyatmic activity will help you raise your consciousness directly, indirectly, slower, faster, or whatever. But Hanuman Master Breath will help you raise it faster than anything else. Guaranteed. All you have to do is continuously move your energy up the spine. Keep moving your energy up the spine as shown in the Hanuman Master Breath technique in the last few sessions. So let's revisit that and see how you need to do it. Come, everybody, please practice along with me as we do it, okay? Exhale your full breath. Neetu Kapseji, why am I yawning constantly when I'm doing belly breathing? Because you are relaxed, Neetuji, which is a good thing. Sometimes if you're very tired also, and then you come to a level of relaxation, you tend to yawn a little more. Good, nothing wrong with that. Anyway, so exhale a full breath. Puri breath chhod dijiye. After you have exhaled everything, bring your attention to the tailbone. Do you know where the tailbone is? At the end of the spine, it's like a small hook. It turns inward towards the anal opening, turns inward, and that is the end of the tailbone. Bring your attention to that spot. Pull your next in breath up the spine. Once again, allow a full exhale. As you need a new breath, bring your attention to the tailbone. Pull your in breath from the tailbone up the spine. Exhale. Try it once again. Full exhale. As you need a new breath, hold it for a moment. As you need a new breath, bring your attention to the tailbone. Pull from the tailbone up the spine. So this is now your in breath moving up the spine. Very good. Everybody is able to do it. Anybody has any question? Yes, Rupalji.
Sir, when you mean like I have to in turn, to do I have to apply mulban?
No, 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 no. I'm not asking you to do any mulband at the moment. No, 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 no.
Okay. Just I have to feel that I'm taking my breath up.
Not feel. You have to bring your attention to the tailbone. Your body is now empty of breath. You need a fresh breath. You bring your attention to the tailbone. Normally we breathe through our nostrils, right? So we are
Yes.
not questioning that. We only bring our attention to the tailbone and pull the in breath from the tailbone. Obviously, there is no inlet at the tailbone. So it's not as if the fresh air can come in through the tailbone. So there is another source wherever it is coming from. But we are bringing our attention here so that we begin to access our Sushumna Nadi.
Okay. Got it.
This is the point where the Sushumna Nadi begins.
Okay. Thank you so much.
By doing this, by just pulling the breath from the tailbone up the spine, we are directly coming into contact with the Sushumna Nadi to help move our breath and energy up the spine. It will not happen in one day. It's not as if the whole system will become cleansed, cleared, ready in one day, but the process has begun. Now you are beginning to move. Now you're beginning to move your breath and energy up the spine. I muted everybody. If you want to speak, you can unmute. So you'll have to, pull your breath up the spine. You start accessing your Sushumna Nadi. It's a long process. It will not end in one day. It will not happen in one day, but the process begins. Yashaswini Varnekarji. Yes.
Sir, so when you say to bring the awareness, it's more like bringing the awareness to the tailbone and taking it up, right? It's being more
Yes.
mindful about that part.
So when you bring your attention to the tailbone, the idea is to ensure that we are accessing the tailbone
Okay.
so that we are able to channel the in breath up the spine. See, if you try to breathe from the nose and take it down and then channel it up the spine, it will be very difficult. So what we have done is we have tried to short circuit the process. How? By first exhaling everything. Now my body needs a new breath, a new fresh breath. So I bring my attention to the tailbone and I pull my new breath from the tailbone up the spine. So this way I get access to the Sushumna Nadi directly. If you remember, I think I told you, Anshulji, I'll answer you in a moment. If you remember, I told you how when I was suffering from fibromyalgia and I was Hanumanji is my Isht. That's why I call this breath also the Hanuman Master breath. I prayed to Hanumanji, give me some solution because I knew that there was a breath solution. I just knew it internally that breath had an answer. So I prayed to Hanumanji, give me a solution because I'd been suffering from fibromyalgia for a long time. Sleep was very difficult. I would toss right, left, right, left, right, left throughout the night. It was taking a huge toll on my health. 2 nights later, automatically I did this breath. Automatically. I'd only just prayed to Hanumanji. I don't know what happened. I got this breath, and because I'm a breath watcher, I noticed. I noticed that the moment this happened, my pain seemed a little less. Just a little, teeny weeny amount, but a little less. So I continued doing it for some more time, and I felt, हाँ, कुछ फर्क पड़ रहा है. And then over the next few days, I continued to work on that. And I've shared articles about this in my Facebook groups and page, etc. This would have been about almost 3.5 years ago, I think, if I'm not wrong, more or less around that time. So as this started happening, I was able to clear out all the pain, etc., related to fibromyalgia. It took about a month, but it was gone and it's never come back. And people say that once, if you are hit by fibromyalgia, it can last for a lifetime, like sciatica also. Some
Sir,
people suffered long. Hmm.
when I brought my awareness to the tailbone, I felt like squeezing my butt.
See, it happens sometimes because, you've not done this. It's happening a first time. So if it is happening, just observe that.
Okay.
Observe that because it's energy. Energy can have different effects in different parts of the anatomy. So even if it happens, there's nothing to worry. It's not as
Okay.
if it's going to hurt you in some way. So let
All
it
right.
happen. Hmm.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anshul, yeah, you're welcome. Anshulji says, does it create problem to focus on tailbone if our stomach is full? No, it won't have any problem. There'll be no problem if you're able to focus on your tailbone, pull your breath up the spine. You can do it. You can do your Hanuman Master breath even while you are having your meals. No problem. People ask, can you do belly breathing while doing X, Y, Z, etc.? No problem. You can do it anytime. Similarly, Hanuman Master breath. So this is the first, actually the second part that we did earlier. But for today, in our session today, you pull your breath up the spine. Is that okay for everybody? Anybody having any difficulty with this? Any questions so far?
No, sir. Clear.
Sir,
So
can you
just
do this during your menstrual time?
yes, yes, yes. Of course, you can do it during the menstrual time. No problem.
Okay.
No problem. Just be gentle about it. One simple thing to observe. When you do this pulling of your breath up the spine, no need to get stressed and anxious and all that. Just a very smooth, gentle move up the spine. Try it once again. Relax your whole body.
Sir, I have
Exhale.
one question.
One second, one second. Exhale your full breath. Fully exhale. When you are ready for a new breath, attention at the tailbone. Gently pull your in breath up the spine. Very gently. See, it even begins to feel meditative. How to pull breath up the spine? Please explain. How do I explain that now? You bring your attention to the tailbone. Your body is out of breath now because you've exhaled everything. You bring your attention to the tailbone and now you want your breath to move up the spine. So all you need to pull is just a word. It's a way of explaining that you need to channel this breath up the spine. That's all you do. You are out of breath. Your body needs a fresh breath. Your attention is at the tailbone and you move the breath up the spine or pull the breath up the spine.
So, sir, but while we are breathing in, it is reverse direction, right, sir? How will pull up? When we are breathing
Okay.
in, breath goes inside, like in reverse direction.
Were you able to do it just now?
No, sir.
You were not able to pull your breath up the spine?
No, it's not clear to me.
You know, okay. No, it's not clear is another thing. You were not able to pull it up the spine is another matter.
It's not
which is
clear,
it?
sir.
So
It's
not
not
clear is a different question. So not clear is a different question. I'll come to it once again. Who else is having difficulty pulling the breath up the spine? Remember what I said?
So pull up to like
No,
Sahasrara or
once again. I haven't mentioned that. So don't let your mind jump in now. The idea is to move your breath up the spine. Whether it goes to the Sahasrara, whether it goes to the Vishuddhi, whether it goes to the Anahata is a different question. We want this movement to happen up the spine. For now, this is our goal. Nayana, spine starts from the upper neck, right? The spine goes all the way from the base of the brain or the skull, all the way down till the tailbone. That is your spine, all the way down and all the way up till there. So the take out a book or go online, you'll see, if you want to go into the details of spine, you'll understand that we are not focusing on the whole spine per se. We are focusing at this moment on the tailbone. And what are we trying to do? We are trying to bring our attention to the tailbone. And after having brought attention to the tailbone, we are only trying to make sure that the breath moves up the spine. That's it. We are trying to get the breath to move up the spine. Who else is not able to do it? Okay, Vikasji, you have your hand raised. Tell me, Vikasji.
Yes, I think the confusion is that when we pull in, when we breathe in, the breath is coming through the nostrils and goes into the lungs. So it's essentially from a physicality perspective, it's going downwards. But we are saying pull up from the spine, which is like right at the
I'll explain.
base. So that's where I think the
So
predicament of confusion.
I'll tell you what happened. Abhi, just a little while ago, I think somebody said something about this, and we said we breathe in through the nose. It's a fact. We breathe in through the nostrils. I mentioned that there is no inlet at the tailbone. Inlet for the fresh breath. There isn't one. But since we are trying to access the tailbone and the Sushumna Nadi, when we have when we have exhaled fully, we need a new and a fresh breath. So instead of starting by inhaling from the nostril, taking the breath down towards the Mooladhara, it may happen for some, it may not happen for some. And then moving that breath up the tailbone, I think 90% of you would not manage it. It just wouldn't happen. So, in a sense, I hacked into it. How? By remembering what happened to me the first day. I just pulled the breath from the tailbone and it happened. So that's what I'm suggesting. You've got you've exhaled your breath fully. As you bring your attention to the tailbone, you pull your in breath from the tailbone up the spine. Now, think of it as a rope. Think of it as a rope that goes down and turns up, like a U-shaped rope. If you pull the rope from the bottom, the other end will come down. Yes or no? I'm holding the. Please don't unmute unless you wish to speak. If you wish to speak, unmute and then mute yourselves again. So think of a rope that is coming down, turning and moving up along the spine. Okay, is that clear? Can you visualize this? Who asked me that question earlier? She's not able
Yes.
to do it. I think a lady called Madhuri, if I'm not wrong. Where is Madhuri ji?
Yes, sir.
Madhuri, where are you? Madhuri, can you understand? Think of a rope coming down, turning, and then moving up. Clear? Now, if I hold the rope at the tailbone, and if I pull it up the spine, from another side, it will come down, yes or no? So which is that other side is from the nose. As you are pulling your breath from the tailbone, from the nose, something is coming down. That's it. That's all there is to it. So simple. Are you clear? Try it again. Try it again. Exhale fully. Let out a full breath. Bring your attention to the tailbone. Visualize the rope with two ends, if you like. You are holding the rope in the middle or the other end at the tailbone. And as you pull it up, the other end starts to come down. That's it. Very simple. Clear?
सर ये वाला जो लास्ट स्टेटमेंट है ना, मुझे थोड़ा अब क्लैरिफिकेशन में डाउट हो गया है
No,
कि
you have
I
to
was
be
able,
more explicit. You
yeah,
have to
yeah,
be more
oh, this is a general statement. I'll
Hmm.
go specific now. I am able to pull the breath up, okay, but that's more like my consciousness moving from root chakra towards upside and
No,
sahasrara.
no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That it's not a question of consciousness. Breath is something that you can feel clearly. So it's not a matter of consciousness. It's not a matter of imagination. It's not a matter of visualization, etc. It's an experience.
The last statement, what you just mentioned, no, ki while you take the breath upwards,
Hmm.
that means through nose it is going out by default.
No, आप लोग इतना mind क्यों use करते हैं, पंकज जी? What did I tell you? Think of it as a rope with two ends. You are holding one end at the tailbone and you're pulling it up the spine. So the other end, which is at the nose, has to come down. Yes or no? Because the
Can I
source of
speak?
the breath is the nose.
Can I speak something?
One second. The source of the breath has to be the nostrils, Pankaji. Are you clear or not?
Yeah, I am clear.
At the moment, once again, at the moment, we are not talking about exhalation, no? So why are you worried about where the breath is coming out from?
No, the way you explained the rope
No, the
structure,
way I
no,
explained is very clear. I'm sorry, Pankaj. You explained very clearly. The inlet for your breath is the nostrils.
okay.
So now you are holding the breath at the tailbone. And as you pull the breath up the tailbone, up the spine, the other end of the breath, which is at the nostrils, begins to come down. Very simple. So why are you jumping at an exhale outlet, etc.? Why are you imagining things that are not brought up? There is no outlet at the moment. You are only inhaling. So where is the outlet? Pankaji, are you clear?
Look, sir, I'm clear. Just आप जो बोले ना, other end of the nose, it comes down. है ना? तो what comes down? I was just thinking, क्या ये breath के बोल रहे हैं?
Yeah, Pankaji, come on, Pankaji, what kind of question is this? I told you, think of your breath. Imagine your breath like a rope. Two ends of the rope. One end is the nostril, one end is the tailbone. If you are pulling the rope from the tailbone, the other end, which is at the nostril, has to come down. Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. The breath has been equated with a rope for better understanding. That's all. Breath is not a rope. Breath cannot be a rope. It is not a rope. This is only to help you see what I'm trying to explain in a little more physical way so that it's आप यदि मेरे पास तो रोप नहीं है ना यहाँ पे अदरवाइज दिखाता मैं if you take a वो क्या बोलते हैं ना उसको like a wheel होता है if you take a wheel and from the wheel if you pull the breath up or a rope up The other end will come downwards. Yes or no? That's all I'm
Yes.
trying to show you. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
Anyway, anybody else, any question on this? Are you able to pull your breath up the spine?
Yeah.
Anybody else, any question on this so far? Try once again. Exhale fully. Let out all your breath. Bring your attention to the tailbone. Pull your in breath up the spine. The breath that you are pulling up the spine is obviously coming from the nostrils. It's coming from the nostrils and going down towards the tailbone, so you are able to pull it up. So think of it as a test tube or a U-shaped channel. It's coming down from one end, moving up from the other end. This is what is happening. Clear? Anybody, any questions?
Clear.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Pankaj. Anybody else?
हेलो
Yes.
गुड इवनिंग
Yes, Mr. Shelly.
कि जब सर ब्रेथ अपवर्ड जाती है स्पाइन के तो लिटिल सेंसेशंस हैपनिंग एट द बैक ऑफ माय हेड
Okay, okay. So different people will have different experiences. What you are doing now is you are accessing directly your Sushumna. As you continue to work on your Sushumna, depending on how your energy is flowing, some people may feel a sensation at the back of the head, some people may feel something at the Sahasrara, some people may feel something in another part of the body. No problem, it's movement of energy. Only one caution. If anybody feels any discomfort or not nice or whatever, stop it for a while. Stop it for a while, try it again after some time. If it is okay, good. If it is not, stop it for that day. Try again the next day. Don't stop the practice totally, because then you will lose.
Sir, my question is, whenever I am in deep meditation,
Yes.
my breath is coming very short, like from neck, nose to from here to head and from head to from nose. My breath
No.
come very short.
No. So what happens is when you are in a meditative state, your breath becomes very subtle.
Okay.
Because your body is in a state of ease. Everything about the body becomes a little more relaxed, little more relaxed, little more relaxed. And as you go deeper into this relaxed state, when you breathe, you feel your breath has become like, it's coming and leaving here. Because it's so subtle, you don't feel the rest of the breath.
So is it a good sign?
Of course, it is a good sign. No harm. No harm in that. Being at ease is the best thing you can teach yourself to be. Aarti Sinha ji, your hand raised. Ji. Aarti ji, you are on mute, I think. I can't hear you. Aarti ji can't hear you. Can anybody hear Aarti ji?
No.
आप म्यूट में होंगे आरती जी. You'll have to unmute yourself. No, I think she's still on mute. Okay, so let me know when you are able to clear the problem. Can't hear anything.
Sir, while
Can
Aarti ji is trying, I have one thing
Ji.
on query. Ki normally during Chakra Dhyana or any other Dhyana, the masters suggest to keep the spine erect, straight. Okay. Now, if I am doing the breath work as taught by you, so is it essential to keep the spine erect throughout the day, or?
For all practical purposes, yoga, pranayam, etc., the straighter your back, the better, number one. But it's not a stiff straight, it's a relaxed straight. So learn to keep your back reasonably straight, not like a slouch or something, but not a stiff straight either. Relaxed straight.
Sure.
Okay, anybody else?
So
Any other
how many
question?
rounds we have to do this?
Oh, who was this from?
So, Yashaswini.
Yashaswini? How many rounds? No,
Yeah.
there is no fixed number of rounds that you should do. I think I gave you an analogy earlier about learning to use a sword. If you want to become a master swordsman, if you want to become like really good at using the sword, the more you practice, the better you will get at it. So Hanuman Master Breath, in a sense, is like a sword available to you to vanquish or to finish or to throw out all kinds of physical, mental, emotional issues. It's a very powerful breath. The A few minutes ago we were talking about consciousness, and I think I lost my train of thought. But as you learn to do the Hanuman Master Breath, it helps you to actually move your consciousness higher constantly. If you understand that the best thing a human being can do for himself, and of course also for people around him and his family, etc., is to raise his consciousness. If you can understand this, if this clarity comes to your being, that there is nothing greater for you as a human being than to be able to raise your consciousness constantly, everything else will get sorted out. It's a very, very simple thing. Learning to be so focused on raising your consciousness that all the drama of the world becomes less and less and less and less and less important over time. Nothing happens overnight. It takes time. It needs practice because there are so many habits that we've built into our systems that doesn't happen overnight. But if you constantly keep trying to move your energy higher, as this, see, I'll give you a very simple example. Some of you are probably using a computer. On your computer, you have many different drives. I think I shared an article about this today also. On your computer, you have many different drives. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So if you open one drive, you are able to access the information or data in that drive, but not the other drives. If you close that drive or if you access another drive, you will be able to access the information, data, etc. on the other drive. Similarly, all your chakras are like these drives. They store certain kinds of emotions, memory, karmic memory as well. Remember, most of us are under the control of our minds. We don't control our minds control us. And what is the mind? Mind is affected by our thoughts and our emotions. Emotions help to generate thoughts. Thoughts help to generate emotions. And this drama, this khel goes on endlessly. So if you learn that you need to become the master of your mind, if you learn to use whatever resources you have, and I think of all the resources available to you, there is nothing stronger, better, uh, more powerful or effective than your breath. In our systems, in our shastras, we speak of Gyan Yoga, we speak of Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raj Yoga, etc. Raj Yoga uses meditation and breath work to move your consciousness higher. It's all दो ही चीज है जीवन में, just two things in life: consciousness and energy. Shiva, Shakti. Consciousness, energy. Shiva, though Shiva is the great Mahadev, in our shastras, in our belief systems, it's said very often, Shiva without Shakti is like Shava. So Shiva has to be, not that he's ever without Shakti, he's always with Shakti. So it's just a way of explaining. But Shakti has to constantly move towards Shiva to get it to function that way. And then look at this picture. Shiva and Shakti.
Kali.
Mahakali. Shakti. Ma Kali is in that Rodra roop, in that destructive state of mind. She's going around killing, beheading, drinking blood, stark naked, hanging heads over along her, around her neck, etc. And she goes around doing all this. All the gods go to Shiva, do something, do something, do something. Shiva can do nothing. He can only come and lie down in front of Shakti, which is what he does. He comes and prostrates himself before Shakti. But the moment Shakti's foot falls on Shiva, her tongue hangs out. What have I done? The very presence of Shiva begins to change Shakti. So Shakti is all about moving towards Shiva, though Shakti also plays her game of Maya. So this is the thing. With breath, you are able to, if you are able to constantly move your energy higher, up the spine, up the spine, up the spine, up the spine, in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath, you will soon be able to raise your consciousness. And how do we know that the consciousness has raised? What has changed? What begins to be different when consciousness is changed? Your interests, your attitudes, your sense of I begins to change. God is supposed to be everywhere. So God includes everything. In your body, there are 50 trillion, estimated, there are 50 trillion cells. You are like a mini God already. There are 50 trillion cells. Do you think of your cells as being separate from you? All the cells in your body, do you think of them as separate from you, as distinct from you? Or do you take them as a part of yourself?
Part of ourselves.
No, you take them as part of your being. And they are a part of your being. If you take out one cell and you ask that cell, hey, who are you? What is the cell's answer? Or what do you think the cell would answer? What do you think the cell could answer?
I'm
See,
you.
yes, if the cell has wisdom, it'll say, I'm you.
Yeah.
Or I am. No,
I am.
there is no difference between you and me. If it has the wisdom, if it has seen it, if it hasn't experienced it, तब खाली बातों में तो कोई value नहीं है. If it has been part of its experience in some way, like it says, I am you or I am, that's it. Enough. So in Hindu dharma, there comes a point where you actually say, Aham Brahmasmi. I am that. I am everything. It's not an egoistic statement. I am all. I am everything. It's understanding that it's all one. And you are identifying with that oneness. That's all. So your ego has gone from being a very small, limited sense of identity to an overarching, all-inclusive sense of identity. Now there is nothing that is not a part of you. So your ego might say, I am this, I am that, or whatever. But your superego or your higher self will say, there is nothing that I am not. At your highest consciousness, when you connect with that, you can actually sense that there is nothing that you are not. That's it. That's all there is to it. This is what consciousness is about. If among all the creatures on earth, and there are 84 lakh yonis, which scientists nowadays are saying about 8.7 million, which is 87 lakhs, according to some scientific estimates, very close to the 84 lakh yonis that the Hindu saints or rishis discovered earlier. 84 lakhs and 87 lakhs, small difference. Even if it is the case, we don't even know. Of all these yonis, look at the level of consciousness that a human being enjoys. And look at how Though humans are only 0.01% of all living creatures on earth, we dominate the earth. We are totally dominating the earth. Every other creature, in a sense, is inferior to us. These are not good words to use. These are not good words to use, but just to get an idea across. Just to get an idea across. So we dominate over all other creatures on earth simply because the level of consciousness in a human being is high. And within human beings, there are all many different levels. So if you, as a human being, are able to get a hold of your energy and move your consciousness higher, look at what amazing things you can do. And Hanuman Master Breath is one powerful tool or technique on this path. As you learn to channel this energy higher and higher and higher, not only does it raise your consciousness, it can heal, because this carries energy. This is moving energy through your system. And if you understand just two things, consciousness and energy, Shiva and Shakti, what else is there? Any healing that happens in the body, some kind of energy source is required to do the healing. Whether you call it a pill, whether you call it by whatever name, medicine, it is some kind of a energy, which is what is used to heal. Unfortunately, many medicines actually heal one thing, but they cause side effects in many other ways. So this is what you do with your breath. And like a master swordsman, only with practice can you reach a level of what is the term? You can reach a level of proficiency where you can use it very effectively, which is what you need to do. Use your Hanuman Master Breath. In breath, we just did the out breath. Let's focus for a moment on the out breath also. So you've taken the in breath fully. First, exhale, take your in breath. And now, before you have to do the exhale, wait a moment. Bring your attention again to the tailbone and allow a gentle exhale up the spine through the tailbone. So, in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath, constantly moving up the spine, constantly moving up the spine. And it's easy. Believe me. See, out of 84 lakh yonis, you are a human being. 0.01% of all life on earth. What efforts did you make to come to this life? What special effort have you made, or that you can recall, to become a human being? It's happened, it's there, it's built into the system. Everything is moving, evolving in a certain way. And over time, you have evolved and got this life as a human being. What a wonderful opportunity where you have an opportunity to consciously raise your consciousness even higher. No brainer. It's a no brainer. Anyone with the least level of intelligence, if he's able to see and understand things, he will understand that as a human being, his greatest asset is his consciousness. And of course, energy, because they are both intertwined. Energy is required to access higher levels of consciousness. So if you waste your energy in negativity, negative thinking, negative actions, or like things like sex, etc., or gossip, or so-called entertainment, or drinking too much, etc., you are merely wasting your energy, which could have been used to raise your consciousness. So if you understand the value of energy that is there in you, and the consciousness or the potential consciousness that can be touched within you, your life becomes very sorted, very easy. Nothing to do. Constantly move, protect your energy, don't let it go in the wrong direction, constantly move it higher. And along the spine, there are only two directions: low, downwards or upwards. Whether you want to move it downwards or whether you want to move it upwards, there are only two directions. That's it. The choice is yours. Hanuman Master Breath will give you this ability to move it higher and higher constantly. Number one. And as you begin to become familiar and you're able to use the Hanuman Master Breath well, you can use it to heal yourself of innumerable conditions. I say this because many of my conditions have been healed with this. Does it mean I'm never sick? Of course I am. I do fall sick. I do fall sick. Ailments happen, but I come back to the Hanuman Master Breath to do the healing. And it does it like that, with practice.
Sir,
Any questions?
yes, sir. For both inhale and exhale, it has to be from the
Up the
base
spine.
to the up the spine, right?
Up the spine, yes.
So that
Any
bit,
questions?
okay.
Any other questions so far? Because some people have been asking, there was confusion about in breath, out breath, how to move it, etc. Any questions, please ask me. But please practice. Unless you practice, all this time that you have spent here, all the effort that you have made is worth nothing. The value will only come when you put this into practice. And then hopefully in our next session, we'll do one extra session for this. Hopefully in our next session, you should be able to learn how to use the Hanuman Master Breath to heal many different ailments. So if you have a list of ailments or if you have issues that are concerning you, you may ask me in the next session, and hopefully we'll be able to work on that. Anybody, any questions? Any questions, any observations, anything?
Sir, maybe I'm asking a little more, but then I want to get this also clarified. Sir, in certain of the masters who teach, so they say circular breathing kind of. When I inhale, then come down, and then again go on rotating it to avoid Kundalini rising up and going uncontrolled. Is it true?
What can be better than Kundalini rising up? I mean, what can be better than Kundalini rising up the spine, up the Sushumna?
Yeah, but then sometimes if it goes uncontrolled, then
it goes uncontrolled because people have not opened the Sushumna. Hanuman Master Breath is helping you to access and open the Sushumna directly. Why don't you understand what is happening here?
okay.
Anyone else? Do we have to exhale through the mouth? Don Sharma, no, please, no. We exhale through the nose, inhale through the nose, and move the energy higher, constantly higher, constantly higher. Anybody else? Any questions? Any doubt? Any clarification? Please ask me now. I'm sitting here. It's easier to explain.
So while talking to individuals, interacting, are you still able to manage that bit of moving up the spine?
Absolutely.
And
It's my
then
constant practice.
And then talk to the other person also. So that's inner work keeps on happening, is that?
It has to.
Okay.
It becomes a part of your lifestyle. Anybody else? Any other questions? Any doubts? Please ask me once again. Otherwise, later you will, deluge me with questions on the group. And sometimes it may be a little hard to explain things in writing than it is to explain, verbally. So anybody, anything? बोलिए 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 जल्दी बोलिए आरती जी आप बोलना चाह रहे but I can't hear you. You are either on mute or some problem with your audio. I'm so sorry, Aarti ji. Can't hear you. Can anybody hear Aarti ji? Aarti Sinha ji?
No.
No, nobody? Okay. So I think there's some audio problem on your system. At the moment you are on mute. Right. What's the time to practice 1 and 2? I'm afraid I didn't get the question clearly. Hanuman Master Breath 1 and 2. What is the right time to practice 1 and 2? Which one to practice more or what? Whose question is that? 1 plus. 1 plus. Hello, 1 plus G. Where is 1 plus G? Hello, 1 plus G. So inhale, exhale has to happen all the time. So please continue to do it. And like I said, somebody asked me a little while ago, how much to do, when to do, how many cycles. There is no such need. Do it as much as you can. More the better. Like I said, like a master swordsman, if you want to become an expert, if you want to become proficient, more practice will take you there. Sometimes I need to take a deep breath from time to time. Can this be regulated with this breath work? Of course, why not? Of
Sir,
course.
both the inhale and exhale is through the nostril only, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
But the movement is up the spine and then.
Yeah, thank you.
एक बार करिए. Just take a couple of minutes, couple of cycles of this. Inhale and exhale, both up the spine. And see how clear it is. See if you have any doubt or any clarification that you need.
The Hanuman Master bet उसके साथ parallel चलता रहेगा. Sorry, belly breathing.
Belly breathing is a foundation breath.
Okay.
It's a state, it's a way of being. So let that be. DM to everyone for lower body part healing, leg pains, etc. We haven't discussed that yet. So there is no question of same method to be followed. But I will explain that in our next session, I trust. If this is clear, and when I ask you in the next few days, if you are practicing, if I get a good number of thumbs ups to say that, yes, you are practicing, honestly, then I'll know that you are ready for using it to heal yourselves. Otherwise, even if I teach you, it has no value. So I'm glad, you did not give me a false or a unnecessary thumbs up just because I'd asked. At least you were honest about it. So good thing. No problem with that. But practice to aapko hi karna padega. And I've tried to explain as clearly as possible for me. If you still don't understand, you have to tell me what you don't understand, where you are stuck, so that I'm able to explain a little better. If your questions don't come to me, I will not be able to guess you've understood or you've not understood. And see, sometimes I may feel or I may sound impatient or irritated. Please don't let it bother you. That's my problem. It is my responsibility to explain things to you all as best as I can. If I'm not able to explain it well, and if I show some kind of irritation or whatever, that's my shortcoming. It's not your shortcoming. So accept it as a shortcoming on the part of this guy sitting here. Don't take it personally. It's not about you. Once again, it's some lack in me. So please don't take it personally. Yes, Nainaji, I think you raised your hand.
यस सर. सर मतलब मेरे हिसाब से पहले ब्रीद आउट कर दिया पूरा, और फिर हमने स्पाइन के बेस में ध्यान दिया. सेकेंड स्टेप टेलबोन की तरफ. फिर वहां से हमने श्वास उठाया और फिर ऊपर स्पाइन की तरफ लेके गए,
जहां तक ऊपर गया
जहां तक गया. और फिर एक्सेल वहां से ही करके हम वापस स्पाइन के नीचे आए.
टेलबोन से एक्सेल करते हुए ऊपर ले गए.
अच्छा, टेलबोन से ही इनहेल करना है और फिर वापस टेलबोन से ही एक्सेल.
The reason is, like I explained earlier, if you try to do the inhale if you focus on the inhale from the nose and you focus on taking it down, आप टेलबोन तक पहुंचोगे ही नहीं. आपको मालूम ही नहीं पड़ेगा कि वो टेलबोन में पहुंच गया. तो you will not be able to channel your breath up the tailbone. So therefore a very simple solution. Breath पूरी आपकी निकल गई है. Now you need a fresh breath. Breath तो nostril से आती है, ये तो given है. I'm not arguing about that. I'm not saying कि आपका tailbone में कोई नया रास्ता खुल गया. नहीं है वैसा. रास्ता तो यही है, nostrils ही है. All you need to do is bring your attention to the tailbone, pull your in breath up the spine. That's it. In doing this, you access your Sushumna Nadi like this, like this. But that's not the end of the work. Accessing your Sushumna Nadi does not mean everything is done. This access has to be a constant affair, constantly access, constantly move energy up the spine, so that the pathway, the passage becomes more and more and more easily accessible. जितनी आपकी सुषुम्न नाड़ी एक्टिव होती जाएगी, उतना ही आपका कॉन्शियसनेस को ऊपर रेज करने का रास्ता सुविधा से खुलता रहेगा, प्रोवाइडेड यू हैव इनफ एनर्जी इन योर सिस्टम. यदि आपकी कुंडलिनी शक्ति डिप्लीट हो गई है, तब आपको डिफिकल्टी आएगी उसमें. आप ब्रेथ करते रहेंगे, बट यू विल नॉट गेट सो मच ऑफ अ रिजल्ट, बिकॉज गेम तो शक्ति का है. सो थिंक ऑफ योर ब्रेथ as a packaging which is carrying a beautiful thing called energy. So think of your breath as the lion on which Ma Durga comes, riding with all her shastras and so on. What does she do with these shastras? She slays all the demons inside us. So breath is the lion on which Ma is coming, and Ma is Shakti, and Ma is slaying all the negativity, all those things that have to be cleared out of the system, illnesses, etc., so that you begin to experience a more fulfilling and rich life. And as your consciousness rises, you will experience it. Very good, Naina ji. Anyone else? Anything else?
Do you see, sir, like because you said anything can be achieved, I definitely understand that spirituality, health definitely can be achieved through this. The third thing is the materialistic gain. क्या इससे materialistic gain भी connected होता है?
आप करके देखो, मालूम पड़ जाएगा.
ठीक है सर, to our experience.
Let your first hand experience tell you.
Absolutely.
है ना?
Absolutely.
Very good. See, understand this. Materializing happens from the world of spirit. तो मैटर में जो कुछ भी है वो कहीं और से ही बनकर आया है. शक्ति का ही एक दूसरा रूप है ये मैटर. तो शक्ति ने ही मटेरियलाइज किया उसको. एंड शक्ति कैन ओनली मटेरियलाइज समथिंग व्हेन शक्ति हैज द बैकिंग ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस. अदरवाइज शक्ति कैन बी डिस्ट्रक्टिव. Shakti to be a constructive force needs the backing of consciousness. No?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Shall we end now? Anything else?
Sir, we are beginning, not ending.
Sir, one last question.
जी.
Thank you so much, sir.
जी, नैना जी बोलिए. So sorry. हाँ बोलिए नैना जी.
So you said पहले हमने एक्सेल किया, फिर ध्यान मूला बेस में रखा, फिर हमने इनहेल किया, नीचे से ऊपर ध्यान गया स्पाइन की तरफ, फिर वापस वो ध्यान हमें वापस नीचे लाना है बेस के पास.
नहीं, मैंने आपको बहुत सिंपल तरह से बताया आपको. जब आपने इन ब्रेथ लिया, आपने ब्रेथ को अप द स्पाइन पुल किया.
हाँ.
अब वो आपकी इन ब्रेथ पूरी आ गई अंदर. यू आर फुल ऑफ ब्रेथ नाउ. स्टॉप फॉर अ मोमेंट. एक सेकंड कुछ नहीं करना है. अटेंशन फिर से लेके जाइए टेलबोन में. Exhale up the spine. Very simple, Nainaji. Very simple.
Okay.
That's all you have to do. Inhale किया, spine up the spine, आपकी breath चली गई. End of story. वो कहानी खत्म. Now bring your attention back to the tailbone for the next part of the story, which is the exhale. Exhale up the spine. Exhale हो गया. End of story. नई कहानी बनानी है. Back to the base of the spine, tailbone. Pull your in breath up the spine. So simple. करेंगे थोड़ा automatically.
Yeah. Got it clear, sir. Thank you, sir, very much. Thank you so
Very
much.
clear, sir.
Breath and consciousness are same thing or not, sir? Good question. There can be no expression of consciousness in a human being without the breath. So how much of it is same and how much of it is not same is up to you to understand. Figure out.
सर जब हम ये ब्रेथ का प्रैक्टिस करते रहेंगे कंटिन्यूअसली, तो स्लीपिंग टाइम पे भी ये चलता रहेगा?
नहीं, स्लीपिंग टाइम में आपकी दूसरी ब्रेथ ब्रीदिंग अपने आप शुरू हो जाएगी, तो लेट इट हैपन. जब आप मॉर्निंग में फिर से उठेंगे, इफ यू कैन कैच योर ब्रेथ अगेन एंड इफ यू कैन कंटिन्यू टू मूव योर, जितना आप अपने ब्रेथ से कनेक्ट होते जाएंगे उतना आपका माइंड आप पर हावी होना बंद हो जाएगा. द मोर यू कनेक्ट विथ योर ब्रेथ, द मोर यू विल गेन कंट्रोल ओवर योर माइंड. That means your mind will not be able to have dominion over you, or it will not be able to have control over you like it normally does. Okay, anything else?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Shall we end? I hope this is clear. I hope in my next session or in the next few days, I'm going to get enough, thumbs ups that you are practicing your belly breathing and the Hanuman Master breath, so that we can dive deeper. Right?
Thank you so much, sir. It's a wonderful session.
Yes or no? Tell me yes or no.
Absolutely, sir.
Will I get your thumbs up or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right
Yes,
away.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much,
That's
sir.
genuine with practice, okay? Not otherwise.
धन्यवाद
Thank
सर.
you.
Thank
राम
you,
राम.
sir.
यशस्विनी जी, आप अभी दे रहे हो मेरे को thumbs up? अरे वाह, thank you. All right, thank you and namaste.
नमस्ते.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Jai Shri